Hi guys, it's Grace.
And Loraya, hi guys.
We are the Indigos, and today we're going to talk to you about our differences, what makes us unique, and why we should celebrate them.
Yes. Basically, it's important to celebrate our differences because we are all created unique. And it's important for us because I feel like it's something that we truly have lived by our whole life by allowing ourselves to be our authentic selves. And it could be anything from your style of dress or the music you like to listen to. Maybe it's not something that you were raised with. People have an idea of who you are. The beautiful part about life is discovering who you are. Why it's so important to be your authentic self. A lot of people suffer from depression. Sometimes that can be out of place, feeling out of place because we don't embrace who we truly are. And being true to yourself is also acknowledging who you are and being okay with it. And there's nothing wrong with being different. Beautiful thing that you and we all truly are different, but so many people conform to society that doing celebrating is so necessary to your life. What about you, Grace? Was there a time that you didn't, or do you feel like you've always been this way?
Yeah, certainly, like there's parts of you that you kind of, there's things that you have to learn how to love about yourself that actually are beautiful parts of you that sometimes you think that are not normal. Sometimes we think
Yeah,
that normal, like to be normal, to be what society that is the desirable way, but actually no, it's not. It's actually reality. Your little intricacies that make you who you are, what makes you really important to this world, and how we can actually collaboratively work together, because your indifference is what is your special gifts that you're given to celebrate and to be a collective with this world together. So we're all in. The more we celebrate our differences, our unique attributes that we might have, the more that we become much more authentic to ourselves and exactly what we're supposed to be, in embodiment of this world. So, but it takes a lot outside the norm and go, actually, I love this about myself because I am so different, because this is something that I really own and this is something I'm really proud of. But I have in the past definitely not liked certain things about myself that I wished I didn't have because it wasn't the norm, like things like
yes.
my little third eye there.
You
Like I
what?
used to, my little third eye, my mole here. I used to
Yeah,
think, I call it my third eye, but I used to like think, oh my god, like why can't I just have like just a normal face in terms of like not have anything there? But what's that? When I was younger. And then once I started realizing that actually it's a beautiful part of me, of my face, I started to celebrate. I started to, I guess, uh, kind of call it my third eye. So it was like something special for me. So, what about you, Ray? Have you always like celebrated your differences and
for
also
me
had problems in the past?
specifically, for me specifically, yeah, I've always been kind of eccentric, alternative. I'm an art kid. Sometimes coming from a conservative family or a family that's super or who come from just education, where some families they don't believe that art is a career. Um, for me, I've always been an artist. There's nothing else I can do, and I feel like that in society can sometimes be considered out of the norm, being a creative. So just having to celebrate that, or also being multicultural, being Black, white, and Hispanic, that also,
Yeah,
sometimes people
yeah.
want to put you in boxes. And that's one of the biggest things where celebrating your differences, where maybe you're Black and you go to an all white school where for certain people they feel like the norm is this, or maybe you're, you grew up in a Christian neighborhood. I mean, there's just so many different things that could happen that you kind of have to go inside and look at who you are truly so that the outside influences don't affect who you are. Because sometimes a lot of people perform because of what's on the outside. That's why it's so important to look inside to yourself. Because if someone can put you in a box and label you, they will. And that's why it's
Yeah.
important to you are so you can choose who you are and you don't allow other people to define who you are. Um, that's why I think for me it was really important. Some people wanted me to go to school because yeah, I am intellectually I love learning and growing, and other people would have given me a different career where they were like, hey, why don't you be a lawyer because you can bribe anything. I'm a talker. So some people saw me fit in that. I would have went to school for chemistry, but I decided to do art last minute. And it was something where it was like people saw that I excelled in this certain thing, and they chose my career and my path, what they thought it should be. But it took me to look internally to say, no, but this is what I want. But that's why I feel like you and I can say that we live super happy lives. Like everyone can't say that they're truly happy waking up to going to sleep. But a lot of that comes from allowing yourself to choose who you are and to have the responsibility instead of letting other people. A lot of people get married early, let their parents pick their spouse, all these different things that people do on a daily basis where people are selecting your destiny for you. And that's why it's important to look inside.
Yeah.
And even if it is something different and it contradicts your community around your surrounding, whether it's a choice of music you listen to, how you dress, you have to be true to yourself. Because once you do that and you get so centered in who you are, then you'll attract people that are reflective of that. And then your circle changes and your atmosphere changes where you're around more people that are like you. And I think
Yeah.
that's important
And that's the
to
thing.
have
That's
support when
it's really, yeah. It's really. Sorry, Ray and I are both in cafes at the moment, so we're like having a little bit
yeah,
of a
sorry it's
delay.
so loud. Hi, love, I'm recording. Give me 2 seconds. You can take this.
She's ordering.
So sorry, guys. Yeah, we're recording and we're out live, out and about.
Out and about
But
live.
yeah,
But yeah, no,
right.
I was gonna say that all of our like the differences. Once we start to really listen to our differences and start to appreciate why we're so different to one another, that actually conformity is not a choice, because that choice will make us feel quashed as a person. So the more that we are celebrative of our differences and our uniqueness and everything, the more we can find that happiness, happiness with being authentic to ourselves. We're not lying to ourselves. We're being truthful with ourselves. And so once you start to do the process of actually realizing all your little attributes and everything, the more and more you are becoming authentic, the more and more you celebrate that, the more and more reflective people will come into your life. And those people then are important for you to grow and develop into your full potential. So, our celebration of one another, our sense of the differences that we have, are so important for us to live a fulfilling and unique life to what has been designed for us, because we're not supposed to be all the same. We're supposed to be all different, but we're supposed to be working together.
Yeah, and I think what's important about that, Grace, what you're saying, when we're saying basically attracting your tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe. What's important about that is when you're your true self, then you can build relationships on a foundation of something authentic. A lot of people fall in love with their representatives because people don't know who they are. So sometimes they'll be who they think someone wants them to be, and that person falls in love with them or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be romantic, but friendships, they'll fall apart because you think that this person's your friend, and then you discover it's a different person. When at the end of the day, you can save a lot of time by being your true self. So if people love you, it's a genuine love. If people don't like you, it's a genuine love. They don't like who you are to the core, and that's okay. But it's
Yeah.
important to do that. Your foundation is so strong and centered on the person you are. Like, don't hide who you are. Be okay with being different. Like, it's beautiful because if you show up as you truly are, the people that see you are gonna love you and adore you, and it's gonna be so much easier in life. Like
Yeah.
it's exhausting. I don't know how people do it. It's so exhausting to be who everyone wants you to be. 'Cause
Oh,
everyone
it
has a
is.
different,
It
you
is, but
know?
it's also society. Like, it puts a lot of pressure on all of us to conform, to be in the norm, to be in a system as well. So we're not actually meant like by society standards to celebrate our individuality. But the more and more we do that as a collective, the more and more we shift the paradigm for ourselves in our individual lives, but also those of the, I mean, saying no to toxic people and toxic relationships just serves yourself in order for you to be like reflective, to call in your tribe, So, it is a celebration of your, yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry, I get excited. No, I was gonna say even like an example of that is I know people that like their friends are all party goers. They always want to get turned up every weekend, blah blah blah. And then maybe you're the person that doesn't really want to. Like you want to go read a book, you want to learn something. It's okay. It's okay to say no because you'll eventually, if you start losing friends because they were party friends or whatever, you'll attract a tribe that likes the same things as you. But you have to be okay with being who you are, and even down to making decisions like that. If you don't want to be out, and some people will do it because they feel like they're being a bad friend or they're supposed to be there. If that's not your element, that's not what you want to do. It's okay to clear out people that no longer serve you. It's okay to let go of people to be true, so you can be true to yourself, and the people that are supposed to be in your life will show up. But you got to do the work within first.
Yeah. And start with the celebration. Start with the celebration of your uniqueness. Like, what makes you unique? Like I was saying when I was younger, it was my third eye that I used to always be, a little bit, what's the word? Self-conscious about, and now I'm just like, I really want to celebrate it because, like in the background, they're playing Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu was the one that actually showed me, because she has one of these as well, that it's okay. And I loved her. So I was like, oh, you know what? She's really unique. And and I started looking at that and changing my perception. Yeah. And starting to celebrate, those things. But that was, that was just one little thing, but
it's something, but it means something. Same with me, like having super curly hair, where it was like no between, where a lot of people weren't ethically ambiguous, where it was like, oh, so your hair is curly, it goes crazy, and our hair grows straight. Or it's like not being true to myself, younger, thinking that there was something wrong with having curly hair, where I was always straightening it. When I got to a space where I'm like, wait, let me just be who I am. I let that thing go. I just let it do what it does. That's something small, but it's truly who you are. It's okay if you're born with curly hair. If you're, if you're born bigger bones, whatever situation is, celebrate that. It's who you are. It's given to you for a reason. Find ways to fall in love with it. Where I was like, oh, but my hair has natural volume. I found ways to love it. Oh my God, I never have to curl my hair. Like you find ways to accept and love yourself. And when you get to that point, all of a sudden when I started like owning whatever I was born with, then you look up and you're getting compliments where you're like, what do you mean? I was always straightening my hair. You mean when I allow it to be natural, people even notice? It's something about a genuine energy. When you 100% embrace yourself, your aura even changes, because there's something about acceptance where people, you set a tone for how people are towards you. When you're insecure, when you're not being true to yourself, people can feel that. But when you're just being who you are and this is what it is, people accept you. They have no choice. And don't give them a choice. Be who you are.
So and it is started with small things like that, and then it can evolve into other things like, what are you good at? What are you good at? Because ultimately that is what, is your, innate calling. It's part of you're specifically good at certain things because you're meant to be doing those things, So don't in terms of career path choices and all that kind of stuff, follow the things that you're good at, and that's exactly where you need to be. You do that, the more and more you celebrate those differences of who you are, what your passion, more and more you're in line with your authentic self. And being authentic really has so much to do with everything that happens as a result of being authentic.
And it's self-love. I got real loud with that one. It's self-love. At the end of the day, no one can love you.
Yes, girl. Self-love.
Look up on yourself. Love yourself. It's you were born a certain way, and that's okay. And you have to understand too, if you believe in God, if you believe in higher power source, then know that There is no mistakes. You were made the way you were. You were designed the way you were for a
There
reason.
is no
So
mistakes. There
you
is no mistakes. That's really
you just
important what you
embrace
just said.
that. That's so important. Like, okay, I have love handles. I don't like them. I try and work on them a little bit because I don't have time
I'm,
with it.
I,
But it's like, guess what? I was given those. I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't given the Naomi
yeah.
Campbell body. Deal with it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Deal
the
with
same
it. Walk
thing,
with it.
like, after having my son, I got stretch marks and stuff. And I'm like, you
Yeah,
know what? Fuck it. I can't help that. It's just something that's happened. And actually, it's part of my journey. It's part of things of my life that is on my body now. And it's just special. The embodiment of who I am, the essence of who I am is so much more than any of this stuff on the outside, So come as you
absolutely.
are. That come as you are.
We love you guys all. Thank you so
Alright.
much. And we just want to remind you to love yourself.
Yes, we'll get back to you. Probably we'll do another video probably tomorrow because
Yeah,
Loretta's
we're gonna do
opened
another
up.
video tomorrow. Maybe in the
Yeah,
daytime
if
in a
you
couple hours. Hey,
and
hey.
I just want to do a shout out because Loretta's just opened up a cafe, Appletown Coffee,
Yeah.
and it's in where? Tell them where it's at, Loretta.
Yeah, you guys have to come out. We have a coffee shop in Boyle Heights off of 15th Street. We'll actually do a video there
Los
tomorrow.
Angeles, California.
If you're in LA, definitely come through. We're there from 10 a.m. till 8:30 p.m. So come check us out, guys. If you want to come
Yeah,
by, send us email. Would love to see you all. And thank you so much.
yeah.
If you have any comments, questions, hit us up. Bye, guys.
All right, guys. Peace.
Take care.